The discovery of first ever lithium deposit in India is a new boost for electric vehicle manufacturing sector. India has initiated a concerned domestic exploration push for the alkali metal, a vital ingredient of lithium-ion rechargeable batteries that power electric vehicles, laptops, and mobile phones. The preliminary surveys by the Atomic Minerals Directorate for Exploration and Research (AMD), Atomic Minerals Directorate for Exploration and Research, an arm of Department of Atomic Energy, are learned to have shown the presence of nearly 1500 tons of lithium resources in the igneous rocks of Marlagalla Allapatna region of Karnataka. Marlagalla Allapatna region of Karnataka. The AMD, uh, the Atomic Minerals Directorate, is carrying out surface and subsurface exploration for lithium in the potential geological domains of the country. The find in the Mandya is extremely small in quantity, but it marks some initial success in attempted to domestically mine and silver white metal by way of hard rock extraction of the ore. The electric vehicle is one that operates electric motor instead of internal combustion engine that generates power by burning a mix of fuel and gases. Therefore, such as a vehicle is seen as a possible replacement for current generation automobile in order to address the issue of rising pollution, global warming, depleting natural resources, and so on. Electronic vehicles in India. In India, first concrete decision to incentivize the electric vehicles was taken in 2010, approved by Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. The government announced a financial incentive for manufacturers for electric vehicles sold in India. In 2013, India unveiled its National Electric Mobility Mission Plan (NNMP 2020) to make a major shift to electric vehicles and to address the issues of national energy security and vehicular pollution and growth of domestic manufacturing capabilities. Though the scheme was to offer subsidies and create supporting infrastructure for e-vehicles, the plan mostly remains on papers. India's that is basically to offer subsidies and create a supporting infrastructure for e-vehicles, but intended to move 100% electric cars by 2030 is a goal that India has kept. However, the automobile industry raised concerns over the execution of such a plan. The government subsequently diluted the plan of 100% to 30%. Subsequently diluted the plan from 100% to 30%. February 2019, the Union Cabinet declared a 10,000 crore program under FAME2 scheme. The main objective of the scheme is to encourage faster adoption of electric and hybrid vehicles by offering upfront incentives on the purchase of electric vehicles and also by establishing necessary charging infrastructure for electronic vehicles. If you look at the types of electric cars, there are four types of electric cars with the following outline. Battery electric vehicle (BEV). The battery electric vehicle, which are ones you probably think of most when thinking of electric cars. These run only by electricity. Mainly, major car manufacturers offer one of these, from the traditional names like Renault to specialist manufacturers like Tesla. A quick internet search through a lot of results. Hybrid. When coming to the hybrid, these are the battery electric vehicles. Hybrid, who are there? Hybrid electric vehicles HEV and plug-in hybrid electric vehicles PHEV. Plug-in hybrid electric vehicles, which also have both petrol engines and electric motors, but can plug in to charge. Both petrol engines and electric motors, but can be plugged in to charge and can generally run for a short period on electric power, but battery is drained. When the battery is drained, and the third one is fuel cell electric vehicle. How does electric vehicles work? See, instead of fuel tank, the electric vehicles has an onboard battery that gets charged through an electric supply and then stores and uses the energy to power an electric motor and set the wheel in the motion. It means the cars have no need for a clutch and gearbox, no need for clutch and gearbox or exhaust pipe, and it makes them much quieter and many say smoother to drive. On a full charge, standard electric car can now run more than 400 kilometers before needing to be recharged. That might not be as far as you can get on one tank of petrol, but most journeys could still easily become accomplished in electric car. For instance, in UK, 94% of all car journeys are under 25 miles in length, with 56% less than 5 miles. So benefits. So for shorter districts or shorter countries, it is very advantageous. And coming to the benefits of electric vehicle, it is environmental friendly. Most prominent benefits of it are environmental friendly. While electric cars are still only the green as electricity used to power it, that is green electricity is used. They are still far better for the planet and conventional cars and fewer emissions. They generate fewer emissions and more efficient. 95% of the energy generated by electric car is put into motion, whereas the internal combustion engine is only 30% efficient. And coming to the low maintenance cost, there are lower operating costs as a fuel charge cost significantly less than the tank of gasoline. Fewer movable parts means maintenance costs are lower as well, and sustainable energy options. Shifting towards electric vehicles would help the India to minimize its reliance on oil while addressing the energy shortage problem and shifting towards sustainable and cleaner energy resource sources. Electric vehicles market challenges in India. See, driving range. Although range of most electric vehicle models has improved significantly in just a few short years, a limited driving range does present a challenge to many drivers. And coming to the range anxiety is what consumers suffer from knowing that electric vehicles might not have sufficient range to take them to their destination. This is deeply linked to their lack of charging infrastructure in the country. While conventional vehicles can be refueled at petrol stations, such as regularized infrastructures is not yet available for EV. And next thing is charging time. Charging time. The amount of time it takes to charge on a car depends upon the battery capacity and the speed of the charger. Lack of charging infrastructure is also a problem. This hurdle really varies with the location. If you can charge at home or work, you don't travel long distances, you might be all set. Some cities and apartment dwellers unfortunately are not able to charge at home due to the lack of driveway or garbage. And coming to the higher upfront cost, many of us associate higher price tags with electric vehicles. That can be an issue with the budget minded and faint policy flip-flops. While no doubts that the Indian government is doing all it can do to push the electric vehicles for faster adoption and manufacture of hybrid and electric vehicles, FAME policy, that is faster adoption of and manufacture of electric hybrid and electric vehicles policy has been criticized by industry in the past. The government has initially focused on the electric vehicle standardization with the FAME, which was sidelined for an emphasis on manufacturing. At the moment, the government is busy drafting an EV charging infrastructure framework. So, inadequate electricity supply in the parts of India, lack of quality maintenance and repair options, and affected by the broader automobile industry downturn. So, these are all the problems. And what are the future of electric cars? It's clear that we are entering a new stage of electric vehicles. The infrastructure to support them, the cost to build them, and speed to charge them all look set to improve dramatically in the next few years. Driving a new electric car will become a norm for many in the coming years, and the governments and the energy companies are setting bigger goals to help that happen. In Germany, and the German government is actively looking at a complete move from diesel and gasoline to electric and not too distant future. France and UK already plan to ban all sales of petrol and diesel cars by 2040. In Denmark also now has more electric charging docks than the petrol station. Italy has exemption from electric vehicles from annual circulation tax. Cyber tax also exempted for 5 years from the date of its first registration, and also the government initiative in promoting the electronic vehicles. You can see the promotion adoption of electric vehicles. The Department of Heavy Industry has formulated a FAME India scheme, faster adoption and FAME India scheme, faster adoption and manufacture of hybrid and electric vehicles in India in 2015 for initial period of 2 years with the first phase. And the second phase also came up to support about electric wheelers and also the electric three-wheelers, four-wheelers, and buses. Demand incentives are also been provided. See, the government of electric vehicle industry promotion in India GST regime. GST on EVs is reduced from existing 12% rate to 5% as against the 28% GST rate with a cess up to 22% for conventional vehicles. And also the Ministry of Power has allowed the sale of electric vehicles as a service for charging of electric vehicles. This will attract the investment into charging infrastructure. And also the government has granted an exemption to battery operated transport vehicles and transport vehicles that run on ethanol and methanol fuels from requirement of the permit, and government has proposed the exemption of registration fee. Registration fee has also been reduced for the battery operated vehicles to to promote the use of the eco-friendly vehicles in the country, and Ministry of Road Transport and Highways has also allowed the age group of 16 to 18 years to obtain the driving licenses for drive e-scooters. 16 to years also you can drive e-scooters. What can be done to promote EVs? R&D infrastructure in India must be improved. The Indian market needs the support from the indigenous innovations that are suitable for India, both a strategic and economic standpoint, and sensitizing the public. It is always a challenge to break away from the old standard and build to a new consumer and promote EVs with Indian market. A lot of sensitization and education is required, and creating a closed loop mobility ecosystem. Closed loop mobility ecosystem. See, subsidizing the electric supply chain manufacturing will undoubtedly create a production of electric vehicles in India. So in India, country with a vast population, it is not easy task for any government to mobilize the whole population from commercial and economic vehicle to EV. Strong will and proper execution will play an important role in making India a fuel-free vehicle to electric vehicle. So electronic vehicle is in need of a future, and what are the hurdles in shifting from commercial vehicles to electronic vehicles in India? Explain.